Hi, my loves. Welcome to another episode of Paddle Chats with Maddie. And today, what I'm being guided to share about is the miracle frequency. So, miracles exist. We know that. Maybe you've experienced them, maybe you've witnessed them, maybe you've read about them or heard about them, or some part in your heart knows that miracles are real and available to us. And maybe another part of you is wondering, how the bleep do I get my miracle? And what my guides have been coming in with pretty consistently over the past couple weeks is sharing with me about the miracle frequency. And when I say that, what I'd like to help bring through is that everything exists on a frequency. So we really are living in like an energetic radio station situation. So we can tap into the frequency of what we want because all of it simultaneously exists. If you've been around here with me for a while, you've probably heard me or probably others say that time and space don't actually exist in the way that we think that they do, right? We have a very linear idea of time, which makes sense because we live in a day-to-day reality. While at the same time, all of these other realities are sort of stacked on top of each other that are like simultaneously occurring, but we are tuned into a specific reality, which is what creates this external reality that we see and this internal reality that we feel. However, we can shift realities, so we can shift frequencies. We can move into a new reality, we can tap into a new frequency and then shift our reality, both internally and externally. So what this means is that always, simultaneous to whatever reality you're existing in, you're choosing, you're playing in, there is a reality that is vibrating right alongside, on top of, next to, in and out through, of miracles. And truly, to me, this is maybe like the ultimate hack for living the life that you desire. Because if we can start to shift how we see reality as frequency, right? This reality, the reality that I want already existing, miracles existing, the miracles that I want, miracles I don't even know that I want, I don't even know I could possibly need, are existing and available to me if I can be open to being on that frequency, if I can shift and tune myself to that frequency to be available to them. And so one of the ways that we do this is by choosing it. And so when we choose our reality, we're stating what we desire, and then we are looking for evidence of that. So up until this point, you may have been living in a reality where you didn't even fully believe that miracles were real, or that you weren't able to experience miracles. Maybe that they didn't exist, maybe that you weren't worthy of it, maybe that miracles only happen XYZ, right? There may be some kind of story, some kind of programming in there that is limiting your ability to see and receive miracles. And that's because you have been living on a frequency where you're not tuned into them. So by even knowing that there's a frequency where miracles always exist, then you can begin to tune yourself to it. I choose to see miracles every day. Miracles are always happening around me. Miracles are happening for me all the time. I am a constant witness for miracles. Miracles are inevitable in my day-to-day life, both for me and the people around me. I live in the miracle frequency. I am tuned into the frequency of miracles. Miracles are possible for me and possible for everyone around me. There is no lack of miracles on this planet. There is no lack of miracles in this universe. There is an abundance of miracles in this reality and in every reality. There's an abundance of miracles in this now moment happening for me, happening through me, happening around me, happening to all the people and experiences and things around me, happening to the waters around me and the turtles and the birds and the trees and all the things. Everything is living miracles. You are a living miracle. Your life, however it's going in your ego mind's idea of it, judgment of it, you are a living miracle. You are this cosmic source, spark, that has chosen a human body, probably human if you're watching this, but maybe something else. You may be a different being, and I honor you too. You've chosen this body to have an experience. And so when we chose this body, we chose all the terms and conditions of the body. And kind of like when we are getting an update on our phone, we just check that box and we're like, it's all going to be fine, right? Well, some of the terms and conditions here are that you move through the veil of forgetting, so you don't actually remember who you are as a soul. You don't exactly remember the contracts you signed up for. You don't exactly remember the karmic agreements that you said you'd play with. And so here you are now, playing this game, and as you play the game, you remember more, because that's part of it. You get to remember as you access certain things. So we're playing in this forgetting and remembering zone. Well, part of the things that we get to remember is miracles, that we are miracles. And that, whatever you believe about Jesus, Yeshua, and all of that fun stuff, because there's a lot of beliefs, and I'm not here to convince anyone or try to convince you of anything, I will say that that was the miracle frequency. Because that ascended master, whether you believe he physically incarnated or not, was a teacher of the miracle frequency, was a purveyor of miracles, chosen to remember their divinity and to create miracles for themselves and for others around them. And then to teach the disciples that they also were purveyors of miracles, that they could also tap into their own divinity and be the miracle frequency for other people, so that they could allow miracles to happen in other people's experience with their presence. They came in and said, miracles can happen, who wants a miracle? And the people who believed that miracles could happen and were ready to receive a miracle did. So this is a faith game. It's the recognition that the miracle frequency exists, that you can tap into it, that you can receive miracles for yourself, and you can also hold the frequency of miracles so clearly that miracles happen for others around you who are open and ready to receive them. Because we can only receive what we're open, ready, and willing to receive. So it isn't only the recognition that the miracle frequency exists, it's also the conditioning that I can witness miracles, that I can receive miracles, that I'm open to miracles in my life, that I am open to witnessing miracles for other people, that I'm open to holding the frequency of miracles for other people, that I'm willing to allow my presence to bring miracles everywhere I go. Because I believe with my whole heart that miracles are possible and that they are happening all the time. And that I get to choose to be on the frequency and to move towards the frequency and to remember the frequency and to play in the frequency of miracles. Because that always exists. Love doesn't go away just because you're feeling bad. You may have a harder time accessing it or feeling it in your body, but it doesn't go away. It's our frequency that's moving and changing, and the way that our frequency changes affects what is coming in our vibrational field. So when we're feeling low, it's really hard to see the miracles, right? Even though we might be praying really hard for them, but we're also resisting them because we don't feel like we're worthy of it or deserving of it, or we need it so bad, we feel so desperate to get that miracle that we're resisting it. So there's a certain level of acceptance and trust and faith and curiosity and openness and willingness that is required to play in the miracle frequency. And this transmission is enough to open you to that frequency. You allowing yourself to be expanded into the knowing that, you mean I could turn into music? Yeah, you could turn into music. I could tune into miracles just like I'm tuning into music, just like I'm tuning into the frequency of anything else. The frequency of abundance, of joy, of pleasure, of prosperity, of confidence. All of these are frequencies. They're vibrational. So this is your invitation to say to the universe, I am open to miracles. Thank you for the miracles in my life. Thank you for the miracles I get to witness. Thank you for allowing me to hold the frequency of miracles and to be that channel of miracle energy, miracle frequency for others in my life. I choose to know I'm a living miracle, and so is everyone and everything else. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, and I'll catch you next time.